everybody, and welcome to a special episode of Haunt Talk, our last Haunt Talk of the season. This is our Haunt of the Year awards. As you see, we have on our fancy clothing because we're going to be presenting multiple awards today. There's going to be quite a few different categories, and then at the end, we will have basically the categories that we judge every haunt off of. For the winner of each of those categories. And then, of course, our Haunt of the Year, just our best, our favorite overall haunt that we've been to. And this is only going to be haunts we've been to this specific year.
Yes.
So no haunts we've been to past. It has to be haunts from 2021. Before we get into this fun little video, make sure that you have subscribed to the channel because we have a lot of stuff coming up that's not going to necessarily be haunted house related. Also, don't take me for granted on this. Don't take this for heart, but I am pretty sure that we are going to be making a second haunted house documentary. I've been wanting to for a while, so that should be a thing. I don't know what all haunts will be involved or anything, but that is something that I'm in the works of. Don't know release time, but if you haven't already watched it, we do have a haunted house documentary called Haunt Behind the Scare. If you really just like us for our haunt reviews, we have a ton of other haunt reviews from other years that you can go watch, but we do have a podcast called Creeps, Creatures, and Haunts.
Oh my.
Where we talk about haunts, real haunted places, cryptids, aliens sometimes, just all kinds of stuff, and that's going to start back up. There's been a break because of haunt season, because of all these other videos. There's not time for that. We also have a series called Haunted Adventures, where we go and investigate real haunted places. So, if you're interested in watching us ghost hunt, like a less dramatic taste, and say something like, Ghost Adventures or something, that might be for you as well. So check that out. But I think that's probably enough of, advertising for ourselves. I'm also have a Patreon. Check that out. That'd be all cool if you did. But just, that would be awesome. Because, we've really been trying to improve the channel. And I think we have done a good job on that. But that being said, I think that this has probably been one of the better years I think that we've been to places. We've been to probably more places this year than we have been in past.
Yeah.
I haven't counted them. Maybe I should have done that.
Probably.
But it's a lot. It's a whole bunch.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I know when I paid off my credit card this month. And I'm like, a lot of those I went to,
A lot of those. Here, let's see if I could bring the stack so we could figure out what we did here.
Went to Westies. We went to Florida this year, or, we went to the Philly area for some of those that are further. We just kind of travel all around.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
Yeah, it is. It is quite a few. And that's why we were doing a few more categories, and we really did. We didn't get to do a Haunt of the Year in 2020 because of the fact, that so many places weren't open. So we didn't even bother. We didn't even know if we were going to get to go to haunted houses. So we are very grateful we got to this year. Another thing we're very grateful for is the giveaway that we did. We actually did a really big giveaway. It ended up being way bigger than I thought. And we had a fair amount of people participate. I am sad because as soon as it ended, comments fell way off. We don't get nearly as many comments. So it would be nice, to comment on our videos. We don't do these just for ourselves. We do these to be helpful for other people. So it's nice to hear from you.
Yeah.
So, it is nice to actually hear from people and all of that, and to hear your experience if you've been to these haunts. So, let's see. Our first category. So let's start with a category. I think start with this one, which is the best family-friendly haunt, because I feel like most people that are watching this, that's the least thing they care about. But some people might care about one that's good to take the kiddos to.
Yeah.
So we went to a few ones that we felt were contenders this year. If you want to say the contenders, Kim.
All right. So for family friendly, we considered Dark View Haunted House, Terror Labs, and Alan's Haunted Hayride. Mm-hmm. They were all very not super scary, but still kind of scary. Something that would be a great starter haunted house for kids.
Right.
Some of them had Dark View and Allen's had a lot of stuff you could do before going into a haunted house. So even if you weren't quite ready for the haunted house, you could go do some other stuff.
And Dark View also even offers a thing. It's like a $3 upcharge, but a necklace where the kids won't get scared as much.
Yeah.
So the monsters won't target you as much. Terror Labs was more of just a fun scene to scene thing. Mm-hmm. And Alan's Haunted Hayride, especially the Hayride itself, is just it's definitely family friendly. Just because it's very old school haunt.
Yes.
But when our family friendly haunt, we did give the Dark View. it just feels family friendly. And I mean, the fact that they offer the necklace so that way kids can like not get scared as much. It's a great introductory haunt.
Yes. They had a lot of stuff. They have like a huge midway where they
They
had
do.
escape rooms. They had paintball where you could shoot zombies. You could shoot each other.
Yeah, we didn't get to try any of that, but I'm really interested in the shooting each other one. That sounds fun.
They had concessions there. They had live performers. They had a woman that was twirling fire.
Yeah.
Doing a bunch of stuff like that. They, of course, have like some scare actors that are walking around, but they're more like fun scare actors, like not really like scary actors. It just overall, it felt like they were trying to include everybody in it.
Another one. This one will be kind of quick because there wasn't many contenders, but we wanted to do it. Is Best Haunted Hayride. So there wasn't like full haunted hayrides we went to, but there's Jason's Woods. We went to Field of Screams. They had a full one. And then places like Fright Farm and Cheeseman, they also had little, like, they're like hayrides that kind of like drop you off at a haunt, so the hayride isn't the focus.
Yeah.
But my favorite haunted hayride we went to this year by far was Jason's Woods.
Yes.
Which we'll talk about it probably more in other categories, but they have a hay wagon that just like it moves like a simulator ride. It's really weird, and it was just cool and unique.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give it a shout out to them. They were definitely our favorite haunted hayride we were able to go to this year.
Yes.
All right, so now we're going to kind of like get into a little bit more specific categories. So we're going to start off with these are again, they're specified moments. So best actor moment.
Yes. So we'll start off with Infernum and Terram and the wedding dress guy.
Yeah.
He was creepy.
He was real creepy.
Oh my goodness.
He wore a wedding dress with a skin cape.
Oh yeah, and like at first I didn't realize it was a wedding dress, and I think I said this in the review too.
I think so, but
I didn't realize it was a wedding dress because it was just so tight.
Right.
It was like not for him. I mean,
well, yeah, no,
obviously.
I mean, it's a guy.
But like it was just really tight and just ripped up and bloody and like yeah, and he played the part really, really well. He was really good.
Yeah. The next one is Gimp Suit Baby Doll Man. Is just what I'm putting him as. This is from Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory. Specifically, this was in the schoolhouse side, I do believe. It was a schoolhouse.
I think so.
This guy, yeah, he had a gimp mask on, like a little gimp suit, and he had like a baby doll strapped to his chest, and he came up to my cousin and pushed him up, like not push because they don't touch you, but he like walked up and like pinned him against a wall and he ripped off his gimp suit mask so the buttons, and then he just continued to right, like didn't actually lick him, but got so ungodly close, and it was like really eerie to watch, and it was just bleh. It was really creepy.
It was really creepy. And then the last one is there was this woman at SeaWorld when we went to their haunt that she came up to me 3 separate times and harassed me.
This is a scare zone, actually, right?
Yeah. Well, the first time we weren't actually in the scare zone. We were in one of their bars.
Oh, yeah, one of the restaurants.
And we were sitting there trying a cocktail, and she came up to me, and she was playing with my hair, and she was like, "Oh, you have hair like mine. I could always use more." And then just walks away. So then later on, we're walking through the scare zone she was in, which was like a kind of like a voodoo witch kind of scare zone. So there was a lot of women there as witches and voodoo priestesses and things like that. And she came up to me again, and she's like, "I know you. I recognize your smell anywhere." And, of course, played with my hair again. And then I saw her again as we were walking through the scare zone, I think to get to, like, a ride or something. And she played with my hair again and came up and harassed me. And I really appreciated the fact that she kept she kept at it.
Yeah, she just kind of kept coming back.
So, with Best Actor Moment, we did, of course, give it to Gimp Suit Man at Akron Schoolhouse.
Because it was just really weird, and it was just creepy. It was just one of those little things, creepy. And I think it was also fun because it didn't happen to us. It happened to, like, this is one of the only 2 we went to with someone else, so it wasn't just the 2 of us, and it was just fun to kind of see that.
Yeah.
So now we're going to get into our favorite scene. So not like best sets and props, but just one single scene. And our favorite scenes themselves from the haunted house. So the first one we have on the list as a contender is the graveyard from Fright Farm. This is a giant graveyard that you visit a couple times. You kind of weave in and out of it, and it is like a real creepy graveyard, like real stone. It's just really amazing, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, just they built like full-on mausoleums that you walk through. There were beautiful tombstones.
Semi-underground through the one mausoleum.
Yeah, and it was just so pretty
and it's like storming.
Well lit. Yeah.
They have like, it looks like it's lightning, and they have big speakers somewhere to make it sound like it's thundering, and it's really convincing lightning and thunder too. Like it's, yeah, it was just really cool. The next one is, we're saying it's The City from Fear Columbus. What was that which haunt was it in? What was it called?
It was called Aftermath.
I think so. Aftermath.
Anarchy?
Yeah, Aftermath Anarchy. So this had a lot of scenes, but The City was so cool because like it's one of the first scenes you walk to. It's like a big city street, and then you'll go in, you'll go to like a hospital scene, and then you'll come back out into the city, and then you'll go into like a butcher shop, and you'll come back out into the city, and it's like this really cool big scene that you keep coming in and out of. It's almost like a hub, like as we described it. So you see this many times, and at some point you'll be in other scenes. There'll be windows where you see out into the city that they've built, and it was just really cool. We just really, really liked it. And then the last one the last contender is the airplane, like the crashed airplane that you have to actually walk through at the Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse. That was just really cool. I mean, it's just this literally giant, real-ass airplane that you walk through and get terrorized in, and they have someone on the intercom, like the details, like what it's even like saying, that they...
Yeah, basically asking if they're okay and stuff like that. Like, it's like air control or whatever they call it, ground control, like asking where they're at and everything like that. And obviously they landed here by the Carvers. They're not okay.
Yeah, so we just thought that was just such a great addition to Chippewa this year, and it was just a really cool scene. But we did give best scene to The City at Fear Columbus. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
The amount of detail in it is just like outstanding.
Yes.
It was so good. The next one's a fun one. It's the most messed up thing that we saw this year at Haunt.
All right, so first contender.
And also, let me just state that we only allow one thing per haunt, or else it would probably be all hoochie on here. I just want to say before she mentions the first thing, or else there'd be more things from the hoochie, but proceed.
Yeah, so of course, haunted hoochie. The guy getting his balls cut off.
And then hitting people in the head with the nutsack.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happens.
That's a thing that happens.
I wonder who's going to win. The school bus at Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, they procured a school bus that may or may not have been filled with children, and the Carvers like to do terrible things to people, and it's just a creepy scene with lots of backpacks, and then there's a cooler that, let's just say, you might find the children. And then generally we try and keep like the theme park haunts off the list, but we did mention SeaWorld. But this one, like, and honestly, it was mainly from the daytime tour. This was at HHN, I'm just putting it as the chicken room at the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I should be able to find pictures. I should still have them. I put them in the daytime video, which you should go watch that. But it was so disgusting.
Oh, it smelled, and it was just, there were feathers everywhere and bones.
It was just really gross.
Chickens and just, oh, it was so gross.
It was really gross. Even worse with the lights on, this room was. And it's just something like, it's one of the grossest things I've seen at a haunted house, just the way it was done. And so that's why I think it's one of the most messed up things that we've seen. But yeah, obviously the balls from a hoochie, like, the hell. No place else would do something like that besides the haunted hoochie. Like, they might not be the most extreme anymore as far as, like, just because they touch you, but the stuff that they are willing to do there and just not care, like, a scene like that, and they ought to do other things too, but yeah, that's them. Don't ever change, right?
So moving on to our next category, which is best long haunt.
So like a haunt that's like 30 minutes plus is what this is.
So Fright Farm was about 35 5, I believe.
I believe it was something like that. It might have been a little bit longer. It might have been 40 minutes because it did take a while. It used to be actually even longer, but they cut a lot of the fat out. I feel like they don't have like that weird like maze thing at the end.
Oh, it was 50 minutes.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, I thought it was longer than 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Fright Farm is almost an hour long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really long.
Really long. Blood Prison, which was about 40 minutes
About 40
to get through
minutes.
that.
A little bit less, but about 40.
And then the Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory.
There's two 15-minute long, like one's 3 floors and one's 4 floors.
Yeah. So
Of those.
if you're looking for something that's going to take a while to get through, these are definitely ones to check out.
Oh, yeah.
We gave this to Fright Farm.
Yeah, I mean,
because-
Fright Farm was the longest. That wasn't even why we gave it to it, though. I mean, the variety you get. I mean, it starts with the hayride, and you get to this giant mansion, and then you walk the grounds of the mansion, and you intertwine back and forth, and through the cemetery, and through like a guest house there, and there's like a mill you go through, and it's kind of like a haunted adventure. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, this the bang for your buck you get there because of its length is just insane.
All right, so moving on to most fun.
Yes. So, obviously some people might not find haunted houses fun, but obviously we do. And when we say this, we're meaning like the atmosphere was just fun. It wasn't like super foreboding or super like tense. Like it was just like it's something you would like to go through again and again.
Yes.
So, something like Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, even though we absolutely adore it, one time a night would probably be enough just because of how dark and gritty it feels, or like Hoochie where it's just so intense. You're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Haunts are amazing, but it's just not something I would want to like on repeat. And like, I didn't have a smile on my face the whole time. I was kind of like that, but in a good way still. But yeah.
Yeah. So we have Ghoul Brothers, which, we went through it a couple times. They do have that where you can get like a pass where you can go through it numerous times.
Oh yeah, they do. I forgot about that. Yeah. The only one I know that's like that is we didn't do it to Bloodview. We didn't do Bloodview this year, but they have something like that too.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like a fun haunt as well. Just didn't get to them this year.
Fear Columbus. That one was just really
so beautiful.
So beautiful. Like I'm sure there's details that we missed.
Oh my god, you could probably go through.
You
could probably go through there. Like they do a day like a lights on tour at some point, which we have to be able to go to at some point. It's amazing. The only thing with Fear Columbus I will say is though this is probably the scariest of the three that's on the list because it is overwhelming. I don't know if I'd actually want to go through it multiple times, but like I could just spend hours just looking at stuff in there though.
Yeah. And then, of course, Wells Township Haunted House.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun, this one is, too. And we actually had a hard time picking between this one and Ghoul Brothers, I'll say. Because, they even have, a little game you play in there. It was just a lot of fun. How interactive it is and stuff like that. It just feels playful, and I really like that about Wells Township.
Yeah. So we did give the most fun award to Ghoul Brothers.
Yeah, I mean, just the actors just really bring it home here, and it really just feels just like crazed madness. And we actually did do this one twice, and I could have done it a third time. Like it was just, I don't know, I just like it so much, like everything in there, and the fact that even though the scenes aren't changing each time that you go in. Like, the way that the actors can hide in so many different places.
Yeah.
Like, the second time, most of the actors were in different places.
Yes.
And they still were able to get us. And I don't know. It was cool.
It was crazy. All right. So, now we're getting to a category that is Best Theme at a Haunt. So some places, have where they have certain themes. Then you have other places that have, a Mod Podge of themes. Where they're just, everything. They have, the slaughterhouse, the spooky house, the clowns, all that stuff. These ones were pretty much where they have, very
specific themes.
Yeah, very specific theme for their haunt.
Right.
So our first one is from Fear Columbus, and it was called The Summoning.
Yes. We say a lot that we want to see more Satan-y type themes, and this is black magic, just really cool, demon-y, it's just really...
Yeah.
And holy crap, is it just beautiful. One of
It
the
is so
prettiest,
pretty.
like, like the actors, like that demon lady that was dancing on the stage and stuff. It was just scene after scene of just like orgasmic eye candy. And, I just can't, I loved the aesthetics of this.
Next is Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse.
Yeah, I mean, a slaughterhouse theme that's in an actual slaughterhouse, like,
Yeah.
come on, like,
Like, I know, like, people are like, oh, I hate the slaughterhouse and the haunted houses.
and I'm that way sometimes,
Sometimes, yeah.
but this is different. This is nothing like that. I
Yeah.
mean, well, it's something like that, but it's so realistic and so well realized, and the fact that it's in a slaughterhouse, I'd be mad if it wasn't themed to slaughterhouse and it was in a slaughterhouse.
Yeah. If it was clowns, I'd be like,
Right.
This doesn't make any sense.
And there, was a couple years past, a few years past, where they had things like a laser swamp that just didn't fit it, and we actually complained about them on the review, and then like the next year it was gone. So I don't know if they actually cared at all about what we said, but it was nice to see that was that was changed. Just super crazy foreboding atmosphere. And then the third one is Dead in the Water, and this was at Lake Erie Fear Fest. This one is just so much fun. They give you a poncho before you go in. You just get drenched, and this is why they give you a poncho, so your clothes don't actually get that wet. And it's like nautical themed. Like there's all these big like tentacles at one point. You're like on a ship. You're walking within inside the ship. Like
there's mermaids.
Yeah.
Like dead fish. Like it just
felt original. I haven't seen it.
Really original. I haven't seen
It's
like a
too
lot of
short.
like nautical themed things.
It was only 4 minutes long though, which is why it's not winning. The winner, of course, is The Summoning from Fear Columbus. As much as I love like Chippewas in its entirety, like just man, like this theme was like really like gelled with me and Kim both.
Yeah.
The Summoning did.
It's
Like
just so pretty.
it was beautiful. Now we're going to talk specifically about some of the best scares we saw this season. Field of Screams had this really cool thing, which of course I talked about in the review. I just put it down as Tilty Bridge, where basically it's a bridge you walk on, and as you're walking, the bridge goes like this, and then there's a wall that goes like this. And it was just, we didn't actually even get the scare, but I watched all the people that were on the bridge before we got on, because again, it was a conga line, and they all were just like, oh my god, like, it scared the crap out of them, and I just thought it was really inventive.
Mm-hmm. So then our next one is from Fear Columbus, and we just have it as Mere Thing.
Yeah.
It was this weird illusion that Josh got to see.
Yeah.
I didn't get to see it.
I don't think you noticed it because of how good the illusion was.
Yeah.
Like, you saw it, you walked through it, but basically, it's a room, and it looks like there's a mirror in the side, there's a mirror in the middle, and then the sides, are you could walk around the mirror, but you're forced to walk through the mirror. Well, what's really happening, of course, is this is not a mirror. They just have, like, the floor and everything in the room mirrored, and then these sides are the actual mirror, and then as you're walking through the mirror, someone pops up from behind the real mirror. Yeah. And it was just really cool. I just really liked the illusion, and it was just a really effective way because you did not expect a scare actor to come out of what you thought was emptiness.
And then our last one was from Jason's Woods, and that was the moving hay wagon.
Yeah, just the fact that this thing will like tilt you into fire that's spewing. Oh it's quite scary just because like it lifts you up into a meat grinder. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like multiple scares, but it's one specific thing that happens.
Yeah,
constantly that freaks you out. Yeah, and we did give it to the moving hay wagon at Jason's Woods just because we've never been to any place like it's so unique. A hayride that again has like simulator like abilities. I just thought that was really cool.
So then we're moving on to best location. This is just places that just have the creepiest place that they could put a haunted house at.
Exactly.
And I'm sure you probably know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Blood Prison at Ohio State Reformatory.
Yeah, big old giant creepy prison. There you go.
There
Good
you
setting.
go. Penhurst Asylum in a big old creepy asylum.
Yeah.
And of course, Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse in a big old creepy slaughterhouse.
So, for the winner of this, we gave it to Penhurst because, my God, before you get to the attraction, you really have to walk around a lot. Yes. Like, a lot of the campus. Like, you go over bridges and you walk through the woods. And, like, as you're walking, there's just, like, all these,
decaying buildings.
abandoned buildings in the woods that, are probably never going to be restored. There's so much that, is just that nature's reclaimed, and just the walk to the haunt, and just the atmosphere, and then the tunnel, like the last haunt, the third haunt, because the first two are in the one building that has been basically restored, and then the last haunt is in the tunnels. And like Kim, she was saying like it really bothered her the atmosphere and their like dread of like the actual like hauntings of the area. Yeah, just like even if the haunt was pretty good, like we enjoyed the haunt a lot, but even if the haunt wasn't good, I'd say it's worth the price of admission just to be there in that atmosphere, because it was just creepy.
Yeah.
It was really creepy. Amazing location. Oh, and the drive to it too. Oh my god!
Yes.
You like drive down, like it seems like you're not going the right way.
Yeah.
Like you are. So if you visit it, like you're probably going the right way, even if it seems like you're not. 'Cause you're just like driving, and then you just wind up this long hill. It's literally out of a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like something where you'd be like, turn around, don't go there. What are you doing? Like that's dumb. And it was raining and storming the night we went too, which added to it. Yeah, it was just a cool experience. All right, so now we're going to get into the winners of our normal categories. And we've talked about a lot of these, so we're probably going to like go through this part a little bit quicker here. So for best sets and props, our contenders are Fear Columbus, because again it's beautiful, Chippewa, for all the reasons we've stated, and Fright Farm. Winner of best sets and props is Fear Columbus. Again, they've won a couple things in the other categories. The summoning is an amazing thing, and then the whole city thing they did with the second haunt is just phenomenal. I cannot believe like the amount of work and artistry that went into creating these things. Like all of these places are just amazing, that we're mentioning, but like Fear Columbus for sets and props just floored me.
Yeah. So that moves us into best actors. And the contenders are Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse, Ghoul Brothers, and Wells Township Haunted House. We gave it to Ghoul Brothers. They are just...
Yeah.
They are passionate, super passionate. They know how to get you.
They do. I mean, they follow you, they interact with you, they speak to you, they jump out of everywhere. I mean, there's one point, there's 5 actors attacking us at once. Like, insanity. I mean, Ghoul Brothers does well with sets and props and does well with other things, but when it comes to actors, like, we didn't have a better experience with actors this year than Ghoul Brothers.
Right.
Next category is scariest, which the contenders for that is Chippewa, Blood Prison, or Hoochie. Now, Blood Prison is really scary, but I would say only super scary if you do the touch pass.
Yes.
Where Chippewa, they do offer a touch pass now, but we didn't do it, and we still got really frightened. And we were behind people, actually. We ended up catching up to people that got a touch pass, and it seemed like they were having a time. And this was like the second weekend of them doing the touch pass ever. So I'm sure that they're only going to get more intense with it.
Yeah.
We did give it to Chippewa because of that. Just mixed with the scares and just the atmosphere and how unsettlingly real everything felt is why Chippewa, took it home. But all of these haunts are like 10s as far as scare factor is concerned.
So that brings us to best value. The contenders are Ghoul Brothers, Wells Township Haunted House, and Infernum in Terra. All of these haunts are like less than $20, I think. Wells Township and Infernum are near each other, so you could do 2 haunted houses and not even spend $30.
Right, which is amazing. Yeah. Wells Township is what we gave it to. They're only $14. It's the cheapest haunt we went to this year, and it's insanely good.
Yes.
Like, there's no reason not to give Wells Township a try. Like, it is. And you don't have to wait in line. You get a number, and you just kind of, like, wait around in, like, a party-like atmosphere to be called.
Have live bands. They have scare actors. They have, like, a zombie tag thing you can do. They have a bunch of stuff you can do until your number's called.
Exactly. All right, but yes, so then I think that is everything besides Haunt of the Year, right?
Yeah.
All right, so before we talk about the Haunt of the Year, again, just want to state, make sure that you do follow the channel for our future content. And please let us know if there's something that you would like us to do specifically, like if there's a type of content you would like to see us make in the off-season when we're not reviewing haunted houses.
Yeah.
Yes, I really hope that everyone's enjoyed the season, that people have noticed that we've tried to up, like, the production value of things and stuff like that. Because, a lot of time and money and stuff has went into doing that, so I hope that people, do appreciate that. There's not many people out there that are doing, like, haunt reviews in video form like this. I know there's some other ones, so we, we've been doing this for what? This is our 7th season. Yeah, our 7th
I
season.
believe
So,
so.
we've just been haunt enthusiasts forever. We thank the haunted houses, that, have invited us out, the people that have talked to, and we also thank all the viewers, all of you guys that
Yeah.
watch and do comment, and we love hearing from you guys. Even though we're not doing giveaways, please comment and all of that kind of stuff. But, that being said, let's go ahead and announce who our favorite haunt this year was. So the contenders were Fright Farm, which was one of the first haunts we went to this year.
Yeah.
And again, it's amazing that they've built this entire mansion and all these things back there. It's just, all of these haunts are amazing. But Fright Farm was the first one that really floored us this year.
Yeah, for sure. The next one is the Haunted Hoochie. This one is always just overwhelming. Just so much stuff happening. I mean, it's always a fun time.
Someone made a comment recently on the Haunted Hoochie review, and they said it's I think they put it as a House of 1,000 Corpses type shit, and I'm yeah, it's very much like that kind of vibe, like this grindhouse,
Yes.
heavy metal, just insanity thing, and they're known for it, and there's a reason they're known for it. It's just, they are good. They've been around for a while, and they're only getting better.
And then our last contender is Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse.
Yep. And this one, we've went to every year since their 2nd or 3rd year, and they've only got better every year. Every year they try to expand it. This year they did their biggest expansion ever.
Yeah.
They've added a whole 5 minutes or something, or maybe even more to the haunt, which 5 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider that's walking time inside of a haunted house, that's actually quite a bit of stuff.
That's quite a bit of stuff.
And that's, some of our complaints that we had in the years past was, not having quite enough actors and just a little too short, and they've solved both of those this year, at least in our experience when we went. So, it was also, all of these haunts on this list were a 10 out of 10 this year.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, for Haunt of the Year, we did give the award to Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse.
Mm-hmm. It might not have been, obviously some other things won in specific categories, like Ghoul Brothers won in actors over Chippewa and stuff like that, but Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse overall, it didn't have anything that it wasn't good at. This haunt might have been really great here, but it wasn't great in sets and props, or even though there was things that we might, this was a little bit better than maybe what Chippewa had. Chippewa still did it really well and did another category even better. Mm-hmm. The experience we got from Chippewa and just how uneasy the whole way around it was, and just the amount of scares we got, it's just something else, and just the location of it, this really is the complete package deal.
Yes.
And that's why it is the haunt of the year, and I am very excited to continue to go back there to see what what else they have in store in the coming years. It's nice to see them win because we've talked about them as runner-up I think a couple of times now.
Yeah.
Blood Prison's won the last couple times, and Blood Prison was really good this year, but Chippewa just really blew us away this year. But that does it for our Haunt of the Year thing. That's it. This is the last episode of Haunt Talk here for a while. Now we might do generally what I do if we do one, because this is season 7 and this will be the last video of season 7. If we do any ones say for Christmas or something, that's kind of its own special thing. Sometimes I throw it in a playlist, but still this is the end of this season of episodes, since this is the end of I would consider something like Christmas, since Halloween's past that, to kind of be into the next haunt season. I don't really know if it matters, but we do plan on going, so do make sure even though Haunt Talk will be done for the most part to next year, we do plan on going to special events, if places have Christmas ones. We already have we know Blood Prison's doing one, Infernum Terror's doing one, and there's some other ones we're we don't know which one we want to go to. So let us know which one you would like to go to for any of the special ones, and also you can message me if you know about one, because sometimes the special event ones kind of slip through the cracks for us because we're not doing as much constant research for that. But, that being said, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, also make sure you ring that notification bell.
Last time this season.
So you don't miss any upcoming videos. And that being said, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next videos.
Bye.